Uh, JJ on the track. It's your boy Preacher.
And we are here on Let the Truth Be Told. The host, David Lowry, got called away at the last minute on a business emergency. So we're hanging out here. You're with Black Cherry and my cousin here, Hero Roderick. Say hello to the audience, Hero.
Hello, great people. How you out there doing today?
Thanks for hanging out with me today. I got a whole lot of information I wanted to share. Um, One of them being some ancient scrolls. Prince St. Michael, hopefully he'll be able to call in later. But there are some ancient scrolls that were being held by a tribe, an ancient tribe in Kenya. And there has been a call to order with these scribes, these scrolls, ancient scrolls, to be brought to America. So hopefully Prince St. Michael was one of them. And the great grandson of Marcus Garvey is the other. So hopefully they will get a chance to call in. This just broke a couple of days ago, so they're pretty busy. And he said he would call in if he got a chance. So what I wanted to ask of you, Hero, is what does Hero mean? This is something new to me. I don't know what that means.
Well, hero is actually Jesus.
Really?
Hero is a name of an ancient god that has been used by Christianity for many years. If people would like to know the story of Hero, they would know that Hero predates Jesus Christ by 3 million years. And it's the exact same story as Jesus Christ.
Okay, so that's what we hear a lot of. Jesus is the same as so and so in Buddhism is the same as so and so in
Exactly.
yeah, okay, all right, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get that. So you
Mhm.
calling yourself, I get that, and I like it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So you have become pretty vocal about metaphysics and spirituality and comedic truth in the past couple of years. What's different about your perspective on spirituality now from maybe, what, 2 years ago?
Well, now where I'm at, I'm more dealing with energy. You know, the Bible speaks about spirits and high principalities, which allows me to inquire more of where these spirits coming from. Um, Religion in itself is a tool to keep the mind trapped. If you study the word religion, which is Latin, it means to keep you bound. So now I'm more in tune with connecting with nature, the universe, allow that to teach me the way that the creator wants to teach me. You know, the creator didn't give you a book to live by. He didn't give nobody a book to live by. What you need is inside of you. If you just tune into things that's going on around you, everything is used for your cause to make you better. So right now, I'm basically not fooling with any religion. People telling me to tell, oh well, thus saith the Lord, and all that other hoopla, whatnot. You know, that's just people that's trying to. Man, in my eyes, religion is the biggest money maker in this world today, besides drugs and pharmaceuticals. But religion now to this day is holding people back. It's not allowing people to tap into their inner self. Like you'll hear this saying, "Oh, Jesus, take the wheel," and all that stuff. Man, I'm not into that no more. I'm not. I'm more into myself, believing in myself, knowing the power that lies within me, that lies dormant within me. And the more and more that I study nature and get in tune with oneself, the more free I become, and not allowing things of this world to alter my emotions and my feelings.
Right, emotions are important, yeah.
You know, that's one thing that religion plays on. It plays on your emotions. It has you all happy and giddy, and next thing you know, well, we're gonna pass the collection plate, you know, type of thing. So it's like, no, I'm not fooling with religion. I'm more in tune with spirituality and nature than I have been before. I'm not saying that I know it all, but I'm knowing more. I'm gradually getting stronger by the day.
Well, it's a known, it's a fact that if you stop learning, you cease to exist. So we know that as beings here, we're going to learn something. We should strive to learn something new every day, but we're going to learn until we're not here anymore, at least in this form. You mentioned getting in touch with nature, and from what I understand, that is how the call for the scrolls came about. These they're like 12 seers, the highest of the spiritual seers in this particular group of people in Kenya. They don't have the media and the access to information that we do. They get their information from nature, and nature told them that it was time to release these scrolls, and the call was put out. I really can't wait to hear about it. So hopefully, again, keep our fingers crossed that Prince St. Michael can call us up today. But yeah, when you mention getting to nature, that's a skill that is interrupted now with the electronics. And what do you feel about that?
Well, yes. Before all this technology came about, our ancestors, they looked to the moon, they looked to the stars, they saw actions in birds and animals, and was able to transform them into what they would live, where they at the time that they were living in, and get a revelation from it. Dreams, all those type of things. See, we got to understand, we as God's creation, we're able to do miraculous things. Even in the Bible, Jesus said that you will be able to do greater works than me. So you can't take the Bible as a literal way of living. You have to use it as metaphysics, metaphors. And what Jesus represented in the Bible, which was consciousness, he was telling people that they have great works inside of them that they would be able to do. Without technology, people have, with technology, people have lost connection with the universe. We allow on technology to tell us so many things.
Yeah, to jump off cliffs.
But no, on a serious note though, like getting back to our culture, getting back to the root of everything, where we come from, eating healthy, eating vegetables, stop eating all this genetically modified food and whatnot. That takes away from us. Tuning into television, that dummy us down. Listen to all this low vibration music. It does something to our energy. So we got to get back to the root of where we come from, and you'll start having more visions, having more dreams, understanding things more clearly. Speaking of speaking in words of transcending and getting things from the universe, from other energies that's around us. The food that we eat, the music that we listen to, even the water that we drink, it dummies us down and takes away from our energy. So we need to get back and reconnect to those energies to understand what the universe and what the Creator has for us. Everything has its endpoint, and this is coming to an end of an age. Right now, we're living in an information age. Things are going to come back to the way that it used to be. So we got to start getting our bodies together, getting in shape, getting physically shape, getting mentally shape. Because one thing that I know for sure, that everything will return exactly to the way that it's supposed to be.
And that doesn't mean total destruction.
Oh no.
So talk about that in regards to Revelations.
Well, if we study history, we can understand that the earth has been here billions of years. So that debunks the whole the world is going to be destroyed. And we know history. We know that there's been a female remains that's 4.2 billion years old that was found, Lucy, that was found in Kenya. So it's a Kenya? Yeah, I believe it was Kenya. So understanding that, knowing that the earth has been around billions of years, that whole thing with Revelation is, like I say, it's a metaphor.
Right.
I'm not truly a whiz at it, but just knowing history in itself, and knowing that this earth has been here billions of years, there cannot possibly be destruction. Only way that there'll be a destruction if man do it itself.
Wow. Okay. You kind of threw me with that one. I wasn't expecting that close. So let's talk about kind of hate to do it, but we have to because it's a big part of our reality, our third dimensional reality, which we are shedding, by the way, to enter into the fifth dimension. And from what I understand, there are enough of us headed towards critical mass that will surpass fifth. You know, we're looking at seventh now. So and that was something that was unexpected at this time. So anyway, what about the elections? What do you think about that?
Well, for me, the election is a big scam.
Hmm.
Basically, they already know who the next president is going to be. Um, for my people of color, which have been voting Democrat for eons, if you haven't recognized that it hasn't done anything for you yet, need to wake up and realize voting for the president, it doesn't really affect you as much as voting for like the mayor, the governor, things of that nature. Those political positions, because those political positions allow things to be taken care of in the community. The president is so far gone that doesn't
It's comical.
right. You know that doesn't have nothing to do with you. Um,
Mm.
so it's like they already know who the president is going to be. I don't know who the president is going. I have an idea, uh, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. But yeah, like I say, that the political party, all that I believe is a big sham. A lot of people that's running to go vote this and vote that, and do your research on these people
Candace. Hmm.
that are running for president. Know their background, know the things that they did, have done, and knowing that they are the same in one. You know, you
Mm.
can't you can't say that, oh, this person did this, but forget about what this person did over here. Both of these people have done some evil and destructive things, and don't see nothing, no prosperity bringing to my people of color.
Hmm. Now, it's been on my mind a lot too. It's something I kind of steer away from simply because, as a conscious being, I know that that whole entity not only is fake, but the creation of it. I mean, what it's supposed to do for we the people is fake, but the creation of it wasn't set up to help us. So how could it possibly? How could that? You know? And
Right.
we don't have control. Like we didn't even see half of the candidates that really were running for president. You know, they're still
Exactly.
just becoming known. So yeah, it had really been on my, and I tell you the truth. A friend of mine, I've been confronted about it a lot because I'm out front and I'm talking about this and the wrongs of the world and what we, you know, what would make it better, this, that, and the other. And I've been confronted with, well, what do you do about the presidential election? Now, in my gut, I care nothing about it. And I know that it's fake. So my idea as a conscious being, which is most important to me, was to steer away from it, not put my energy into something that I consciously know is not real,
Yeah.
let alone not for us, you know.
Right.
But now it's like in my real in away from all of this and in my space, I'm being confronted with it, you know, and I've already lost a couple of friends because of it. And I actually got confronted at the telethon on the air,
Mm.
you know, and that sat with me not only at the time but even afterward, you know. So it's like, well, what do you do? Because now God is really throwing it at me, you know,
Um,
as a conscious being, because consciousness to me is ultimate. That's number one.
well, I'm gonna just say, far as again, just knowing history in itself,
And
and
what's
knowing
real.
and knowing what's real, and knowing that the politicians and politics have nothing to do or want anything to do with helping the nation of people. Uh, Going back to the Constitution and all that mumble jumble, talking about we the people, and that didn't have nothing to do with black folks. That didn't have nothing to do with colored people. And in 1776, black folks were still slaves. So people got to understand that particular, okay, yeah, they make it up for you to be able to vote and everything and whatnot, but you got to understand that it's not for you. Until black folks get together economically and get some money together and put somebody into play that's for them, then you could say that it's helping you. But if you're not putting nobody into position to
Mm.
run for president that's for you, then it's not helping you at all. They just using your vote.
Your energy is all about the energy that you have been given from the Creator. That is valuable, along with your thoughts. It's just so valuable. It's way more valuable than anything that you can tangibly see,
And
visibly see, or tangibly touch.
speaking about energy,
Hmm.
see, right now at this time that we're living in, is you have to keep positive energy. I mean, somebody brings some negative energy to you, talking about some negative things, it's a must that you shun that
Shed
energy.
it.
You
Yes.
know, think of something positive, talk of something positive, because your energy is what makes your world, your reality. If you have some positive energy in your circle, then there's nothing but positive that's going to come to you. And that moment that you start letting that negative energy reside into your
It's a crack
circle,
in the cup.
man, there's something that's negative that's going to come. Not knowing when, but you could almost count on some negative things that's going to take place. You have to keep that momentum of positive energy and not allowing negative to win.
Yeah. 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 Well, okay. All right. So, has your personal space been since you transitioned from what the system made you into a metaphysical, a spiritual being?
Well, I've been on this journey right now for say going on 7 years, I want to say. And when I first started, it was like a hell of a roller coaster. I don't have so many roller coasters in my circle now that I had in the beginning, because I'm beginning to understand more, and the universe is yielding things to me that helps me learn to know what to do, when to do, and so forth. I meditate more. I find my alone time more. Um, I'm loving on my children because they are teachers to me, because knowing that they've been here before, and just paying attention to how they interact with in the world and whatnot. So
It
right,
makes you want to pull from them. Yeah.
it got to.
Yeah.
And so right now, I'm loving my life. I'm loving the things that's going on around me. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. I'm being patient. Um, you know, I'm not allowing things to of negative to distract me. Now, and I'm not saying that I don't get distracted. Now, I'm
Right.
not saying that I'm always 100, because I cuss somebody out and give somebody the finger in a minute or two. But like I say, right now I'm more at peace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if it happened, it's happened. I can't control all those things that happen on the outside of my world, because I create my own world. So right now I'm at peace. I'm more freer than I ever been. Um, Especially dealing with religion. I done been something far. I done been a Muslim. I done been a
Mm-hmm.
Mormon. I done studied Christianity. I done studied this. But once I done away with religious ways, I really have become truly free and understanding, and being more in tune and connected with the Creator, which is the master of all source. So right now, I must say that I have no worries. I'm good. I'm 100. I'm loving what's
That's
going
another
on right
thing
now.
about being conscious and dealing with the third dimensional world. You know you're good. It's like no matter what you've done. I just said this night before last to a person I had just met, and I told her, I'm like, I can say that I have done more than what God seated me here to do with confidence. I am truly a sovereign being for myself at this point, which is huge. And she sat back. She's also spiritual. We sit in the club talking like this, right?
Right.
And she sat back and she looked at me. I'm like completely sovereign, and that comes from being spiritual. And it's really hard. Well, I want to say hard. That's something we don't do, but it is challenging to know that you're the sovereign being and be beyond the third dimension and still have to deal with third dimensional stuff. It's just a necessity. But we were seated here just to do that. And I did come up with something while you were talking. I knew that would happen, which is why I invited you to come. And so you said something about putting a positive spin on, or at least attempting to put a positive spin on everything, which is important because we are carrying this ascension. It's up to us to ascend and to help others ascend. So, yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should mess with the presidency. Maybe I should as a write-in anyway. You know, I had this little thing that I had started a while ago, drink the Kool-Aid. So, we'll see what happens. But um, just to put it out there, because like I said, it is coming into my space, and I'd hate to have to, because I was almost tempted to go there with this other friend that did that to me during the telethon, even though we had this special thing. But I'm like, wow, you too? That's what the very first thing that came to mind, you too? But so maybe I'm thinking maybe that happened for a reason. Maybe that was a divine action. What are you thinking? I can see your brain going.
I'm just following what
Taking
you're
it
saying.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it right there though. But because my thing when I first started, I was very adamant about what I wanted, what my goals were. My goals were to play, but I had a hard time playing when, like my son, he had to give his life for a car that he's driving. Then that made me look at what else is going on. This isn't what I was told life would be like when this isn't the heaven on earth that I was promised. And that's what got me into it. But yeah, my goal was to play. I just had a hard time playing with all this misery around me. So I felt compelled to do something about it. That's it. Where you at?
Well, as far as the misery that surrounds you, you said that you find it hard to play.
Mm-hmm.
When you have, like I said, when you have created your own world,
True.
that those things they have no significant meaning or value.
What things?
So like that goes back to the negative energy that tries to invade. You said it like, man, find the positive in it, not dwelling on the things that happen negative is the key. Like even just to speak about to say death, a lot of people, get all emotional and feeling a certain type of way with death. That lowers your vibration.
Yep.
And we're not trying to, we're not trying to lower our vibration. We're trying to raise our vibration. So those things that we see that has the tendency to try to bring our vibration down, we see those things coming. We have to, there's a must to see the positive in it.
Have to, in all things,
Yes.
Now, because I will forget. Now, okay, I'll tell you something that happened to me recently 2 times. And it has to do with the ascension and the body ascending, because we are all going through something. Some of you are going through some things now and don't know what it is.
Right.
But anyway, I'm driving, and this event kind of takes place. It had something to do with trucks and the oncoming side of the traffic. I'm on the 290 on the oncoming side. Truck in the car cuts off his truck goes off. Blah, blah, blah. That happens.
Okay.
I promise you, not 5 seconds later, it happened again. It's like I'm beginning to see a few seconds into the future. Amazing. So that had been on my spirit. It happened to me twice. It really happened. And I'm watching a Bruce Lee movie. And I'm like, oh, that's how he mastered that art. He had that down to that kind of a science where he could see his opponent, before it actually happened, just enough where he was, you know what I mean?
Right.
Amazing. So I see now that people like you and I and a few other people that I'm meeting are actually conduits for what's happening in the ascension. And I think Bruce Lee was part of it too, because it does.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was a powerful being.
Yes. Yeah, I understand the science now.
About itself. Being conscious is more than the average person can really grasp a hold of, and knowing exactly what it means to be conscious. See, some people might think being conscious is knowing the plots of the government and what they plan to do and those type of things. No, conscious is unexplainable. It's an energy that has taken place within you that allows you to know all things, to see all things that are transpiring. It has you able to control your emotions. Uh, Consciousness is wanting the whole world to transcend to a higher dimension, not wanting to leave anybody behind. You want people to understand that, to leave negativity behind, to love, to embrace. You don't you don't find too many people out here um, that are apologetic to things. I mean, you find people out here being apologetic to things that take place, that are negative and everything and whatnot. Don't apologize. It's a part of learning. It's a lesson to be learned in it. Uh, People are so caught up into the Western civilization of teaching that they think that what they say is what it's supposed to be. When in all actuality, there's many definitions why that it happened. It might happen in this dimension, but something is transcending in another dimension. We got to understand that us physically being here, we got to know that there is another one of us in another dimension. Many.
Yeah.
And there's things that's going on. There's
fragments. Let me step in right here. You spoke about the dimensions, and there are many. Now you exist on every one of those dimensions.
Correct.
Our job here now in this 9 cycle, creating the one that's to come, is to bring out the best of every one of those fragments into this one dimension, and that's what we carry into eternity. I hope that made sense.
I'm tracking with you.
All right, good.
Others tracking with you as well.
Okay.
That goes back to what you were saying about revelation. There's no end. No people get caught up into the eternal lake of fire and all those type of things, and thinking that that right there promotes fear.
Right, and you can't talk to God. He can't even talk to you when you're in fear. You can't hear him.
So it's like just knowing that your energy never dies. It's a continuing energy that's going to transcend into another world, another dimension, and take care of some business there. You have to understand that. Get that fear out your mind of dying, because it's an English word that really doesn't.
A word. Go ahead. I love that.
Holds you down.
Yes.
It brings your vibration down. Just knowing that there's something else to take place that makes it even easier to live your life while you're here. Get that fearful thing of death out of your mind, out of your consciousness, because it only brings you down.
It brings more of the fear that it is. Wow. And you'll never be able to communicate, give or receive with the Creator when you're in that state.
Yes. And I don't know, like I said, I've been on this journey for about 7 years now, and I'm not professing to be a doctor or in consciousness. I'm learning as I go. I'm not taking upon studies from this person or that person. I'm researching everything that I come across and using it for me, because that's what is for me. The great I am. Making yourself and understanding and getting in tune with what's inside of you is the greatest thing that you can do while you're in this dimension, while you're on this plane, is understanding who you are in this physical plane, not allowing no therapist or psychologist or anybody else to tell you what's going on inside of you. You figure
now
out
wait a minute, that's not to
inside
say don't reach out, because I had to come to understand, I was forced to come to understand that not everyone is ascending on at the same time, on the same level. And we say that all the time, but then we don't really understand the grasp it, like take it in. And a friend of mine actually committed suicide, and he was a comedian at that. And It was like a slap in my face, And then I had another friend that was going through something, and I overreacted, because I didn't hear from this person, and this person was really in need of a friend, so I was there for her, and I didn't hear from her at like a scheduled time, and I kind of freaked out because the other friend had committed suicide, and we didn't see it coming. But if you have to reach out, please do. I just wanted to say that much because another friend of mine, Michelle Monet, who you'll be meeting soon, and she was at the telethon. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody that came, over 100 people came through that day. I was expecting maybe 20, over 100 came through, and now it's getting bigger. So we will be able to help that company. More about that to come, and thank you. But Michelle Monet, who is with the REACH Project, REECH, she's dealing with just suicide in the Black community, in the African American community, in the melanated community, whatever you want to call it. Last year alone, there were a certain number, I forget the exact number of suicides in the community. That number was beat out by March this year. So there's definitely something going on that we need to address. So not everyone is as strong as you are. And if you don't, please just reach out or be available to certain people and be aware, be attentive, because this young man, he should still be here. He should still be here. Yeah.
Well, to collaborate on that, well, there's a lot of things that's going on within our community that we're not aware of
or not paying attention to.
There's talk about suicides. We also got to think about missing bodies and people that come up missing and whatnot. So here it is that, because you speak about melanin, melanin is one of the richest things you could get a hold of.
It's certainly powerful.
So it's like, you have, these Europeans and whatnot going overseas, over to other countries getting melanin injections. But where is this melanin coming from? So these people that are dying mysteriously or committing suicide, I just want to say that, that they're doing those type of things on their own. I must say that, the higher up, that white supremacy is a mug, and people that want this melanin
it's about the power. The abilities that I'm sure you've all heard about are things that we can do that certain other groups cannot do. And as long as they keep us thinking that we have no power, then they'll have a stronghold over us and keep us living the way we are. There's going to be information that's going to come out, like I've said many times before, that's going to just really piss you off. It's going to take you to a bad place. You're going to be angry. So the reason that people like us step up is to make that a little easier on you, because the reaction, the subconscious reactions, even now, without knowing these things, are amazing. Like there's this one young lady I know. It's kind of clear just from her behavior and her language that she is someone who, how should I say, wanted more attention from her mom. So I'm third person out looking at this other relationship. You have that young lady, then you have someone who wants something from her. She tapped into that as well. This comes with consciousness too. When you shut up, you can hear more. You can see more when you just shut your mouth.
Right.
But and she just happens to be, anyway. So this lady has tapped into this lack over here, this subconscious lack in this first lady. And she is using that to got this look running around looking goofy, oh, you're my favorite, type of thing, knowing that that's a lack over there.
Right.
The subconscious is a beast. We have to know our flaws. Have to.
Most definitely. Can't allow. It goes back to controlling your emotions and your feelings, so you won't be manipulated. There's a lot of people out here that knows what's going on, and they're using people.
Right.
They're using it for their benefit.
Right.
Some of our powerful leaders, they know exactly what's going on, but hey. They rather use it for themselves.
That kind of amazes me too. Like, we know we're in the Revelations. We know we're in those days, and you still. So it's like, how evil are you, really? You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind goes. Where would it? Seriously, let's have some fun. That's what you want, for real? Okay. Okay, it's mind blowing to me, especially when we can just be all just kicking it.
And like I say, it's gonna return back to the way where it was,
Eventually.
eventually.
Now, from what I'm told, what I've learned is that we have a choice. We can make it happen in 20 years, give or take,
Hmm.
or we can make it happen in 5 or 6 generations. It's really up to critical mass at this point, you know. So that's where we are.
And I just
I'm
want.
just glad that I'm aware. I'm just glad that I know, like I told that sister, I'm sovereign. I'm free. I can, I do what I want. So if I desire to help the community, and it does make me feel good to help the community, that's what I'm going to do. And it's okay. As a matter of fact, yeah, if you desire yeah,
You
yeah,
chose to do this though.
you would go there.
You
You
chose.
would
You
go
chose to
there.
do
That
this.
is the most mind blowing part of this whole thing. Like, we all chose to be here at this time. You're watching because a long time ago, you chose to watch at this time. That's
Exactly.
something to really think about.
Yes.
Yeah. I tell you what, so if you feel like uh, uh, I could be a decent president, I can't believe I'm saying this. Write me in. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to have a good time around here. And I know that that's where God intended. And I know that we are in a battle for eternity. Why not take everybody with me?
And that's what it's about.
Mm,
Not
mm,
leaving anyone behind.
right. Doesn't have to be that way.
But however,
However,
there will be some that be left behind.
unfortunately, again, with the fractals, you want to bring, first of all, you want to acknowledge that you're not whole. When we're speaking about the fractals we spoke about earlier, first we have to recognize that, and then ask your creator, whatever you call them, to be whole. You want to be whole. And that's when you start to bring in all the different fractals from the other dimensions. And so that the one that you are right now living, being, is the best one to go forward from this nine into a one.
Hmm.
I'm trying my best to, you know,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know for this time right now, for the listeners who are listening, it's very important that I'm gonna go back to energy again.
Yeah.
Even though I'm gonna have to go to the Bible because that's what most of my people are in tune with. Even the book says bad company corrupts good character. So
Mm.
therefore, man, surround yourself with positive people, positive energy, always. Um,
Make that your business.
Eat healthier. Uh,
I'm working on that
Stay
too.
away from red meat. Try to eat more fish. Eat more vegetables. Drink more water. Stay away from the sugar. Um, Meditate,
Hmm.
exercise, stretch. Uh, Find your time sitting alone and sitting in the sun gazing, allowing the sun to, because the sun is our
Those are
best
energy
friends.
codes, yes.
Yeah, that downloads information into your DNA. Not per se for this dimension, but for other dimensions. So, man, key thing, energy. Surround yourself around positive people. Uh, I had to break myself away from a circle of people that I know was just feeding off of my energy, and it's like once I broke away from that, I started feeling myself being more powerful, not feeling drained. Can't surround yourself with those people that just drain your energy, your good vibration. The Beach Boys, good vibrations. Man, it's about vibrations.
Yeah.
Got to
Mm.
surround yourself with positive energy, and
Hmm.
that's key with this time that we're living in right now. It might hurt to shed those that because you might have been so connected with those energies for many and many and many and many a moons. But now understanding the time that we're living in, it's time to shed that negative energy. They might catch up to speed, they might not catch up to speed, but you got to break yourself away from those negative energy. I don't care who it may be, cut it off.
Yeah. Yep. That's difficult. And I say that from experience. But you have to, if Only one of you are going to survive. Who is it going to be? Sometimes you have to take it to that level, that mental level.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are dealing with the subconscious as well, and the subconscious is powerful, powerful. Now that I'm aware of it, I see it, people being played by that subconscious a lot, and they have no clue, no clue. And one person historically has said, if I wanted to make a group of people do something, against their will, I would have to make them like it. I would have to get them enlisted into that.
Right.
And that's where we all are as a society right now. So thank you for hanging out.
Oh, anytime. I
Yeah,
love
my
to come
cuz,
in.
y'all, my baby cuz. I changed his diapers.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, he tells a story about how he learned how to get through the city from hanging out with me,
Oh
his
yeah.
his cousin. I was always rolling.
Know all the back roads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And some of the clubs too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, you're on Let the Truth Be Told. Thanks for hanging out. We'll get to the Prince St. Michael some other time. You will definitely get to know this guy. Look him up. He's out of Florida. If there's another imitation Prince St. Michael, you'll find him in Florida. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll catch you again. Write it in. Cherry for president.
JD on the track. Your boy Preacher. Yeah. Come on. Hey, the truth. Hey, the truth.